What if this year wasn't about explaining yourself to anyone, but about proving everything to yourself? What if 2026 became the year you stopped reacting to disrespect, doubt, and failure, and instead turned it all into dominance? Listen closely. This is not a hate speech. This is not about revenge with anger or bitterness. This is about revenge through success. The kind of success that makes people who doubted you uncomfortable. The kind of success that doesn't speak, doesn't argue, doesn't complain. It just shows results. Andrew Tate Energy says this clearly. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only respects strength, discipline, and outcomes. If people laughed at you, ignored you, betrayed you, or underestimated you, good. That pain is now your advantage. Weak people break under pressure. Strong people build empires with it. Rohn taught that success is something you attract by the person you become. Read that again in your mind. You don't chase success. You become valuable, disciplined, focused, and success has no choice but to follow. That means if 2025 broke you, 2026 must rebuild you into someone unrecognizable. Les Brown reminds us that you have greatness within you, but greatness demands responsibility. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your habits. If your habits are weak, your future will be weak. If your standards are high, life must rise to meet them. This year is revenge year because you are done explaining why you're tired. You are done telling people your plans. Silence is power. While others talk, you work. While others sleep, you build. While others complain, you improve. Revenge is waking up early when motivation is gone. Revenge is going to the gym when your body says no. Revenge is studying when distractions are loud. Revenge is saying no to comfort so you can say yes to freedom later. Think about this question honestly. If your life depended on your discipline, would you survive? Most people want confidence, but confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. Every workout you finish, every hour you focus, every bad habit you kill, your confidence grows. And when confidence grows, fear disappears. Read books like Think and Grow Rich and As a Man Thinketh. They all say the same thing in different words. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. If you think like a victim, you live like one. If you think like a king, you move differently. Andrew Tate style truth is brutal but real. Nobody is coming to save you. And that's good news. Because it means you control the outcome. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. You need discipline. 2026 is the year you stop chasing attention and start building respect. Respect comes from consistency, from showing up even when nobody claps, from doing the hard things daily. Let them doubt you, let them mock you, let them forget your name, because one day your results will remind them. Kill them with success, not loudly, not emotionally, quietly, relentlessly, day by day. This year is revenge year, not against people, but against the old version of you that settled for less. Pain is not your enemy, comfort is. Every setback you faced, every person who doubted you, every moment you felt overlooked was not designed to destroy you. It was designed to test whether you're strong enough to rise. Ask yourself this honestly. If everything had gone perfectly, would you have ever discovered what you're truly capable of? Pain sharpens focus. Pain strips excuses. Pain forces growth. Weak minds try to escape it, but strong minds learn how to use it. Most people waste pain by turning it into complaints, excuses, or self-pity. That's where they lose. You don't win by crying about what happened to you. You win by deciding that nothing that happened will happen in vain. When someone disrespects you, that sting can either paralyze you or activate you. When life knocks you down, you can stay there or use the ground as leverage to push yourself higher. The difference is mindset. Andrew Tate style truth is simple. The world doesn't reward feelings, it rewards results. Nobody cares how hard it was. They care about what you produced. So instead of replaying old failures in your head, replay the lesson. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, how do I use this? That shift alone separates leaders from followers. Rohn said that success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Pain gives you clarity about which disciplines matter. When you've been embarrassed, you no longer want average. When you've been broke, you respect money. When you've been weak, you respect strength. Pain teaches faster than comfort ever could. It burns the lesson into your soul. Les Brown reminds us that when life knocks you down, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. But getting up isn't enough. You must come back smarter, stronger, and more focused. That's where revenge through success begins. Not with anger, but with precision. Not with noise, but with consistency. Every early morning you show up when motivation is gone. You're converting pain into power. Every time you say no to distractions, you're turning past rejection into future dominance. Every disciplined action is proof that what tried to break you failed. The people who doubted you don't need an explanation. Life will explain it for you. Results speak a language everyone understands. You don't need to announce your comeback. You build it in silence until it's impossible to ignore. Let the memory of struggle push you forward, not hold you back. Let disappointment become discipline. Let rejection become resolve. Because when pain fuels purpose and discipline turns effort into results, success becomes inevitable. And that is the most ruthless revenge of all. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. They rise and fall based on mood, weather, praise, and comfort. If your success depends on how you feel, you will quit the moment it gets uncomfortable. That's why discipline is superior. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline asks what needs to be done, and then it does it anyway. Ask yourself a hard question. When motivation disappears, what part of you remains in control? Andrew Tate style reality is brutal but freeing. Nobody wins because they felt like it every day. Winners win because they act even when they don't want to. Motivation is loud at the start and silent in the middle. Discipline is quiet, boring, repetitive, and unstoppable. The gym doesn't care about your mood. The work doesn't care about your excuses. Life doesn't care about your potential. It responds only to execution. Rohn taught that discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. Skipping one workout feels light. Avoiding one hard conversation feels easy. Delaying one important task feels harmless. But those small choices stack, and one day you wake up carrying the weight of regret. Discipline is choosing the slight pain of effort now instead of the heavy pain of failure later. Les Brown often says that you must do what is hard to make life easy. Discipline is doing what is hard when it matters most. It's waking up early when the bed is warm. It's staying focused when distractions are screaming for your attention. It's showing up when nobody is watching and no applause is coming. That's where real confidence is built, not from hype, but from self-respect. Most people wait to feel ready. Disciplined people move first and let feelings catch up. You don't become disciplined after success. You become successful because of discipline. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who finishes. Books like Atomic Habits and The Compound Effect explain this clearly. Small disciplined actions done daily create massive outcomes over time. You don't need extreme motivation. You need standards. Standards for how you work, how you train, how you speak to yourself, and how you spend your time. When your standards rise, your life is forced to rise with them. Discipline is also emotional control, not reacting to disrespect, not chasing validation, not quitting because progress is slow. Silence, focus, repetition, that's power. While others burn energy explaining themselves, disciplined people are too busy building. When motivation fades, discipline carries you forward. When excuses appear, discipline shuts them down. When doubt creeps in, discipline reminds you who you are becoming. And over time, the same discipline that felt heavy becomes automatic, turning effort into identity, identity into results, and results into a life that no one can deny. Talking feels powerful, but silence is lethal. Most people announce their goals because it gives them temporary satisfaction, a false sense of progress. They tell everyone what they're about to do, hoping for approval, motivation, or validation. But the moment you speak too much, you lose energy. You invite opinions. You invite doubt. You invite distraction. Ask yourself this: how many of your past plans failed because too many people knew about them? Andrew Tate style truth cuts deep. Real power moves in silence. When you're silent, people underestimate you. When they underestimate you, they leave you alone. And when they leave you alone, you can work without interference. Silence gives you space to sharpen your skills, build your body, grow your money, and strengthen your mind without noise. Rohn believed that consistency, not intensity, creates long-term success. Silence supports consistency because it removes emotional swings. You stop performing for others and start performing for yourself. No audience, no applause, just execution. That's when progress becomes dangerous. That's when growth compounds. Les Brown teaches that you don't need to tell people what you're going to do. You need to show them what you've done. Silence keeps you focused on results instead of reactions. You're not checking for likes. You're not waiting for encouragement. You're building something real, and real things take time. Consistency is the real flex. Showing up every day, even when nothing seems to change, is what separates winners from talkers. Most people quit because they don't see immediate results. They forget that progress is invisible before it becomes obvious. Discipline applied quietly, day after day, eventually creates momentum so strong it can't be stopped. Silence also protects your mindset. Not everyone wants to see you win. Some people clap when you start, but hope you fail before you finish. When you stay quiet, you starve negativity. You don't argue. You don't defend yourself. You let time and effort do the talking. Books like Deep Work and the 48 Laws of Power emphasize this principle. Focus and discretion multiply effectiveness. When your attention isn't scattered, your output multiplies. When your emotions aren't exposed, your decisions become sharper. Let your routine be boring and your results be shocking. Let people think you're doing nothing while you're building everything. One day, your success will arrive without warning, and the same people who ignored you will ask how it happened. By then, you won't need to explain a thing because silence backed by consistency always ends in undeniable success. Your mindset is either your strongest weapon or your biggest weakness, and most people never train it. They train their bodies sometimes, their skills occasionally, but their mind, they let it run wild. Every doubt, every fear, every negative thought gets full control. Ask yourself this honestly. If your thoughts were broadcast on a screen, would they look like the mind of a winner or the mind of someone waiting to lose? Andrew Tate style, reality is this: strength starts in the mind. If your mind is weak, your life will be weak. You cannot build a powerful life with a fragile mindset. The world will test you relentlessly. People will doubt you. Plans will fail. Progress will be slow. If your mind collapses under pressure, nothing else matters. That's why mental toughness isn't optional, it's mandatory. Rohn said you must stand guard at the door of your mind. What you allow in will eventually show up in your actions. If you constantly consume negativity, gossip, fear, and excuses, don't be surprised when your life reflects exactly that. A disciplined mind chooses what it listens to, what it believes, and what it repeats internally. You become what you tell yourself every day. Les Brown reminds us that you have to be hungry. Not casually interested, not mildly motivated, but obsessed with becoming better. That hunger is mental. It's waking up and deciding that today, no matter what happens, you will not quit on yourself. Mental toughness is continuing when the excitement is gone and the results are delayed. Books like Mindset and The Power of Now all point to the same truth. You are not your thoughts, but your life follows the thoughts you entertain. Winners don't eliminate fear. They act despite it. They don't wait for confidence. They build it through action. Every time you face discomfort, instead of avoiding it, your mind gets stronger. Every time you do what you say you would do, your self-belief increases. Mental toughness is also emotional control, not reacting to insults, not getting distracted by drama, not letting temporary setbacks become permanent excuses. Weak minds react. Strong minds respond. Strong minds stay calm while others panic. They understand that pressure is not punishment, it's preparation. Most people break not because life is too hard, but because their standards are too low. When you raise your standards for effort, focus, and discipline, your tolerance for excuses disappears. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop feeling sorry for yourself. You move forward regardless of how it feels. The mind you build in private determines the life you live in public. And when your mindset becomes unbreakable, no obstacle, no opinion, and no setback can stop the future you are relentlessly creating. Success is not built in dramatic moments, it's built in boring ones. The days when nothing exciting happens, the days when no one is watching, the days when quitting would be easy and comfortable. Ask yourself this: if your future depended only on what you do daily, would you like where you're headed? Because the truth is brutal. Your life right now is a direct result of your daily habits. Andrew Tate style realism makes this clear. Talent doesn't win without structure. Confidence doesn't last without routine. Motivation fades, but habits remain. Winners don't rely on inspiration, they rely on systems. They train at the same time. They work at the same time. They learn at the same time. Not because it's exciting, but because it's effective. Jim Rohn famously said that success is the result of daily disciplines compounded over time. That means your habits are either compounding for you or against you. Every small decision matters more than you think. One extra hour wasted today doesn't seem like much, but repeated daily, it becomes years lost. One disciplined hour invested daily doesn't feel life-changing, but over time it builds skills, confidence, and leverage that separates you from the crowd. Les Brown teaches that you must be willing to do the things today others won't do, so tomorrow you can live the way others can't. That willingness is built through habit. It's choosing to read when others scroll, choosing to train when others relax, choosing to focus when others distract themselves. Habits shape identity. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your routines. Books like The Compound Effect and Atomic Habits explain this law clearly. Small actions repeated consistently lead to extraordinary outcomes. You don't need a perfect plan. You need repeatable actions. Wake up with intention. Move your body. Feed your mind. Do the hard task first. Remove distractions. Repeat. That's it. Simple, not easy. Personal standards are the invisible line you refuse to cross. They determine how late you sleep, how hard you work, how you respond to stress, and what you tolerate from yourself. Weak standards create weak results. Strong standards eliminate debate. When your standards are high, discipline becomes automatic because quitting is no longer an option. Most people negotiate with themselves every day. I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it later. I deserve a break. That internal negotiation is where dreams go to die. High-level people don't negotiate. They decide once and follow through daily. When habits align with high standards, life begins to change quietly. Progress feels slow, but it's stacking. Confidence grows without noise. Strength builds without announcement. And one day, the results appear suddenly, surprising everyone except the person who earned them through disciplined habits repeated day after day. You don't need to announce your victory because real success makes announcements unnecessary. Most people think revenge means confrontation, arguments, or proving a point with words. That's small thinking. True revenge is elevation. It's building a life so strong that the past no longer has access to you. Ask yourself this: what would hurt your doubters more? Your anger or your silence paired with undeniable results? Andrew Tate style dominance is about detachment. You stop chasing reactions. You stop explaining your growth. You stop trying to be understood by people who never believed in you. Emotional reactions drain power. Focus creates it. When you redirect your energy from proving people wrong to improving yourself, you become unstoppable. Jim Rohn taught that success is not pursued, it is attracted by the person you become. That means the greatest statement you can make is personal transformation. Not overnight, not loudly, but permanently. When your income changes, your body changes, your confidence changes, your circle changes, no explanation is required. People connect the dots themselves. Les Brown often says that when you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. Killing them with success doesn't mean rushing. It means lasting. It means staying consistent long enough that your progress compounds beyond denial. Many people start strong. Few endure. Endurance is the real flex. Books like The Millionaire Mind and The 4-Hour Workweek emphasize leverage and long-term thinking. You don't win by short emotional bursts. You win by building assets, skills, and systems that work while you sleep. That's silent revenge. Progress happening, whether anyone is watching or not. The most powerful thing you can do is outgrow the version of you that needed validation. When criticism no longer triggers you, you've won. When praise no longer distracts you, you've leveled up. Emotion. Independence is freedom. And freedom is the highest form of success. People will eventually notice, but by the time they do, you'll be too focused to care. Your lifestyle will speak, your calm will speak, your discipline will speak. You won't argue with anyone because arguments are for people who need permission to feel powerful. In the end, the greatest revenge isn't that they see you winning, it's that you no longer need them to see it at all. So as this year unfolds, understand this clearly. 2026 is not about noise, excuses, or explanations. It's about decisions. It's about choosing discipline over comfort, silence over validation, and growth over ego. Everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment, not to break you, but to sharpen you. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need applause to work harder. You don't need revenge through words, because your actions will speak louder than anything you could ever say. Every focused morning, every disciplined choice, every time you refuse to quit, you are rewriting your story. Let the past stay behind you, but let the lessons move forward with you. Build in silence, move with purpose. Hold yourself to a higher standard than anyone else ever could. And when the results finally show up, and they will, remember that this wasn't luck, and it wasn't revenge fueled by anger. It was revenge fueled by discipline, consistency, and self-respect. And that kind of victory lasts forever.